What up, y'all? It's Naturally B-Way here. I am here today to talk about pursuing God in college. I currently am in college right now, and sometimes it can be, not sometimes, it can be hard pursuing God in college. So I'm just here to how I go about it, or just some things that might be helpful to you. Pray before you get to college and to pray while you're in college. So when you pray, that's your conversation with the Lord, and any questions that you have before you get to college, lay them all down to the Lord. Really ask him what he requires from you while you're in college. Then when you get to college, don't put prayer on the back burner. That's probably like the worst thing you can do, is put prayer on the back burner. Remember to spend valuable time with God. Talk to him. Keep that relationship growing, because that's how we communicate with the Lord. Friendships. Watch who you befriend. Watch who you surround yourself with, because you don't want to be. You want to be around people. Are you kidding me? Really? In 1 Samuel chapter 23, verses 16 and 17, it kind of tells us what type of friends we need to look for. As Christians, we're called to encourage each other, and so you need to have people around you who's going to encourage you to keep God first. Whatever problems that you have, or situations, they should be encouraging you to put everything into God. They should be encouraging you to pray more, to do those things. And I'm not saying that you can't have friends who are not Christians, but you need to, majority of the time, surround yourself with people who are in God. And speaking of experience, like my first year in college and some of my second year, I didn't have as many Christian friends around me, or people around me. So it was easier to want, or to want to be a part of the things of my other friends, because I had company. Like, it was friends, and we enjoyed ourselves and we had fun, and so it was easier to do that. But it's also when I'm dealing with problems and situations, yeah, we can have opinions and stuff, but at the end of the day, the things of the Lord will be the things that get you through those situations. Don't put yourself in situations you can't handle, or you just know ain't good for you. Don't do it. You know what's good for you and what's not. So you just want to be smart, because it's like we're trying every day not to give into the flesh. But when you legitimately put yourself in situations that is blatantly going against God, or that may allow you or put you in a position to go against God, then you shouldn't be there. Like, just bounce, like, leave. Dance break.
Just run with La Familia. I run with La Familia. Just run with La Familia. I run with La Familia. Just run with La Familia. I run with La Familia.
Distractions, okay? Make sure that you're not putting all your time and effort into so many things, and you're not focusing on the Lord, because it's so easy to make work, to make classes, to make organizations, all these things your main priority. But it's like, no, we're called to worship. We're called to bring other people to Christ. So that's our first priority. So it's so easy to get consumed by distractions or things that's not of God. So you have to remember, keep God the center. And I know it's easier said than done. And so that's why you have to pray. That's why you always have to be praying. And to have that alone private time with the Lord, because that's what you need to survive. Like, that's what you need. Like, this is there. Find a church, find a Bible study group, find something, find sermons online, find something that can feed you. You know, of course you have the Bible and you have prayer, but you need a church. You know, you need to be around other Christians. You also need to be getting fed and look and listening to the word from other people's perspectives too. You know, that's why we have the church. You know, the Lord, we're called to encourage each other. We're called to be amongst each other. You know, the church is the Lord's bride. So, you know, we're required to be there. And I just feel like even if you cannot find a church around your way, or there are no Bible studies or anything like that, look up some sermons online. Listen to a podcast. You know, listen to those things that are involving the Lord. And also, sidebar, music too. Make sure that the music that you're succumbing yourself to, the shows that you succumb yourself to, make sure that they are not really feeding that flesh. Seek knowledge, like, continuously. Like, literally be seeking knowledge from prayer, number one. Be seeking knowledge from your word. Like, make sure you are not just reading the Bible, but you're studying it too, like literally breaking it down and stuff like that, because that's important in your own private time, just as important as it is when you're when you're in Bible studies or with other people. And then be seeking knowledge from older women, older men who are around you, who in God, if you have that there on your campus. And from friends too, like seek knowledge from them too. But more importantly, just be constantly seeking knowledge from the Lord. Continue with your relationship. The worst thing you can do ever, not even just in college, but just period, the worst thing you can do is to move away from the Lord because you feel like you're not doing the right things. Don't move away from the Lord. Like, don't do that. Like, stay connected. Don't get so caught up in yourself. And I know this is hard to do, but don't get so caught up in yourself where you're not focusing on the Lord and you're not giving God the glory. Because at the end of the day, listen, we all have things that we struggle with. If it's not loneliness, it may be bullying. If it's not bullying, it may be homelessness. If it's not homelessness, it may be an abusive marriage. But what we tend to do, because these problems are so hard, and it's hard to not do this, is we tend to focus on us. The reason we go through situations is to lead back to Jesus. When you look at Samson, when you look at Moses, when you look at all those, Abraham, the reason those guys are so, they're looked at as so great in the Bible is because everything leads back to Jesus. Like, their struggles, their situations, the way they overcame those situations, everything leads back to Jesus. So let everything lead back to Jesus. And I know it's hard, but you can do it. If there's something you want to know, something I need to touch on, any questions, leave a comment down below. I just pray that this was helpful, and God is the glory. So
the world might look at us sideways. Never artificial, just artificial. Yeah, we got the same mind state. This the red hand society.